Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to The Infinite Way, where spirituality meets humanity. And it brings me great pleasure and an honor to introduce to you from Zambia, Africa, Felix Phiri, who is a musician. And instead of me introducing him, I'm going to turn it over to you, Felix, and have you tell us just a little bit about what you do.
Thank you. My name is Felix Phiri, popularly known as Felix Africa. I'm a musician. I'm a spiritual musician. I'm a businessman. I'm a youth activist in Zambia, and so I love to see positivity, just to inspire and impact positivity in the young people. And my music has an inspirational part of it from my voice. So that's me.
I love it. And I want everyone to know your story. So I'm going to start this off with asking you to come back, because to claim as a spiritual singer means that there was an impact in your life at some point. And I would love for you to go back and to tell us your journey to knowing that you were supposed to sing, and then you were supposed to sing spiritually on top of that. If you would take us back and share your story.
Yeah, definitely. My inspiration of what inspires me in my life to do spiritual music is that firstly, I lost my parents at a tender age. My father died when I was very, very young. That was 1993. I was in grade 4. And my mother died 1997. While I was in primary school as well, that was in grade 6. Yeah, so I was raised from a spiritual home. My mother taught us how to wake up early in the morning and to appreciate God, because we don't live by ourselves. So little did I know, when I was very young, I used to think we're just surviving on our own as a normal creation, and that we are just, these normal people can just live and without relying on anything. And so my mother one day, she sat us down and started impacting us on how we should stop depending on our parents, because even them, they had somebody who they depended on. And we asked them, who's this? They said, no, we depend on God, our creator. So started explaining about spirituality of life and just what makes each and everything exist. So I got that inspiration, and it helped us to survive, actually, to even live a faithful and fruitful life even after their death, because this is now the energy that we had to carry us on, so that we could actually be people that we are supposed to be today. I'm coming from a family of 7. I am the state, yeah. I've got my 2 young brothers that were very, very young by the time that our parents died. And so by the grace of God, I happen to be the person that raised these youngsters and to become the great men they are today. I appreciate God that these, one of them is working in one of the institutions in right side Zambia. Another one was working, is one of the teachers in Zambia and holds a master's. So I look at the background. Things were not easy. We moved from, we moved from a time where we used to eat, sometimes once a day. Sometimes we never ate. We could survive on literally, on our friends. Sometimes we go and beg from somewhere. But then that inspired me to, come up with melodies that could bring comfort. And sometimes I could put situations in my songs. Little did I know that one day these songs will actually be of benefit to the world. Yeah, so basically, that's my background, and that's where I get my inspiration from. Uh, I went to school. I went to school by nobody's support apart from myself. I used to do small business that I used to do. Sometimes I could do pieceworks just to go and acquire my education. So from primary, secondary school, tertiary education, I sponsored myself. And that tells you how much passion I have in my songs. This is why I've got a heart to encourage the young people that they've got an ability, there's something that God has put in them that they can use to rise to the top.
Yeah.
Hence, the organization that I'm running as the national chairperson, the founder of Youth Movement for Positive Change Zambia, that has offices in all the 10 provinces, where each and every province has a provincial coordinator. We are a young team, a young people that is there to ensure that we help each other to bring out positivity and just to use what we have to start something and make something come out of life.
I'm going to pause you there because I want to go back to some of the things that you said, because we have an international audience. And what happens is that you're saying things and they don't understand the significance and the impact of what you're saying. Because how old are you in primary school?
How old I was in primary school?
Yes, how old
do
you start when you're in primary school? Is it like, is it 7 years old, 8 years old? How old is that, primary school, when you start in Zambia?
I was 7 years.
7 or 8 years old.
Because,
yeah.
Yes.
And here's my point.
Yeah.
That people are not going to pick up with, okay, is that you had a business at 7 and 8 years old to be able to pay for your own school fees. And I want to emphasize this because here people are grown adults, not able to figure it out. And there are kids that are homeless on the streets. But here in Africa, whether you are shining shoes for food, you're doing some kind of work, some kind of job in order to bring it in at 7 and 8 years old, in order to bring it home to your family and to feed for yourself. And this is significant. This is really, really important so that people can understand the character that was built.
I became a breadwinner at 7, 8 years, between 7 and 8 years. That's the time that I used to go do pieceworks, and then sometimes I could actually buy meal meal from the money I made to bring back home, because the time before my mother died with depression, after we had the challenges of our brothers, scandalizing whatever our parents left. We were very young, we were watching. So I took up a responsibility just to begin to fight for my family. And the time she was dying, I saw my mother dying. I saw her dying while I was very, very young. And my brothers and sisters were not there. I remember the time that I cried is when I laid my mother in the grave. That's the time I now realized that my mother had gone. Yeah, so that gave me the drive, that gave me the inspiration, gave me so much courage to begin to face other challenges in life. And so after that, I now started, I went into the street. I went into the street to look for a small thing that I could do. And I started selling plastics, like the cups in the street, and some merchandise that some stuff, just those utensils that you can use to use at home. Yeah, those are the things I used to sell because they used to come from the other part of Zambia, which is the border from Tanzania to Nakonde, and then coming to Kasama, because that time I was in Kasama. So the only thing I learned at that particular time was to save. I used to save every little profit that I could get back to school. And after seeing that life became very tough, and around the place where I was, in the environment I was in, there was a lot of influence of drug abuse. There was a lot of influence of alcohol abuse. There was a lot of influence of violence.
Yeah.
And I was not happy. I opted to raise money and leave that place to go and look for to a place where my father came from. So from Northern Province, I moved to Eastern Province to go and seek and look for my relatives where my father came from. So I had some money from there. That's how I started again school in the village. I started grade 6, and I moved on to grade 7. I passed, and later on now I went to the basic school. I passed to go to the boarding school, but because of lack of sponsorship, I stayed in the village for another year, and then I got into farming. Then I got some monies. Then I came to Lusaka, the capital city of Zambia. That's now how I started looking for enhancing my life, trying to go back to school. And so as I came to Lusaka, I went straight to look for a job that as a garden boy. And that's how I started working, started pushing again in Lusaka to go back to school.
Yes, yes. That's phenomenal. And the youth movement. So
I used to then in the afternoon I could go to school. Yeah. So whatever monies I was raised, I was taking to school. That's how I survived. And later on, that's why I get my inspiration of I have a passion for a youth. There's a reason why someone can't get into illicit activities, because when God has given them the ability and they are able-bodied to do anything, they can stand up and fight for their lives. And so that's where my composition comes from. To listen to my songs, my songs are such inspirational that you will get the depth answer of life. You also get the spiritual direction. You also get the inspirational part that you may not give up. You also get how to gather your principles and put yourself together as a human being, and to look up to God, that God is the holder of destinies. He is the only one who can, whose plans are perfect for you. And once you believe in yourself, God has given you potential. You are able to achieve and attain any position in life, regardless of your position where you're coming from, regardless of your situations in your life, regardless of your financial status in your life. For as long as you are able-bodied and you have identified that which you have, God surely one day will give you a platform and will open a door that you will now operate as an inspiration to others.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I want you to share with us the first time that you really had the opportunity to share your music with an audience. Because there's always that first concert, that first one that, okay, yeah, this one transcends everything. Take us back to that moment, and take us back to what you were thinking, how it felt, and how you came up with the words to the song that you chose to share at that time.
Okay, quite interesting. That's 1997. I did my first single.
Beautiful,
Eh,
beautiful.
so, I formed a group with my colleagues called Fair Guys, and our music was based on battles in the street and inspiration, encouraging each other, don't give up, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so my first uh, my first concert that I experienced in Lusaka, that was in 2000. After now I was recognized 1999, the year 2000, 2001. I and my friend, we hit now the airwaves of the national airwaves, and it was very awesome. It was so amazing that from from a background of pushing, trying, and being looked down upon, trying to fight so hard, and then all of this sudden you begin to be celebrated, and people begin to point fingers. Oh, there is a celebrity. Oh, there is Felix. So amazing. And I remember the first concert that we had in the showgrounds. We had an escort. Yeah, we had a police escort. And by that time, Zambian music was just being transformed from the Kalindula African traditional music to digital R&B local music. So we had that hype, which really attracted so much attention from the public. And I remember the first time I was, we had that concert, we had the number of media houses present, and they had to write. We were so excited. We shared our background, we shared our vision about the Zambian music industry. And oh my God, it was so exciting. It was so exciting. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that's when I came to, that's the time I came to see my life had changed. Now I started now to put myself together as a role model, as somebody that people will be looking up to. I looked at myself as a leader. I looked at myself as an inspiration, because I was coming from a life where nobody could think I could be recognized and I could be pointed the finger and I could be celebrated. So it was so amazing. And I went at that time, I really cried, because I was thinking, God, where is this place now? I mean, am I this person that sometimes I could touch myself and feel my skin is in me, but I could just definitely say, God, change my story, and things just turned around. It was so amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so now here you are a professional, you have your studio time, you sing all the time, your music can be found across YouTube. It'll also can be found in USA on Favorite Night TV, which we're so excited about. And my question to you is, what is your favorite song? And will you give us a little sample? Because for those of you who also don't know, you also sing in Lingala, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
What to do?
Just a little sample.
I can do. Yes, I can do any language as long as I have somebody to translate it for me. So I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you sing in Lingala and English and a little bit of everything. And so, yeah, what's your favorite?
I'll be very unfair to myself to point, to single point a song, any song that this is my favorite. I feel all the songs that I have are my favorite, because they carry a different atmosphere at each and every time I was recording. Meaning there was an inspiration behind that moment of recording of each and every particular song.
Okay.
And fortunate enough, personally, the way I understand my music career or my music calling is that I don't just go into the studio and just start recording. I must have something prompting me that should make me to go in the studio. Of course, I'm able to come up with ideas, songs. Ideas can come, but songs really that have gone into the studio and sat down, begin to contemplate, begin to put my emotions in there, begins to sing and arrange, assemble all these words. There are songs that have had situations behind that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair statement. But you can still sing just a little bit more.
Yes. My song, the song that won me 5 awards, that or the first album that gave me 5 awards, where all the songs became famous.
Yeah.
It's called My People. Yeah, all one album. It's rare to have an album from all the songs, become hits. And for me, it was a different story because all the songs, all the 8 songs became hits as the album came out. And when I go to perform, I go to sing anywhere, people sing along every song that I start with.
I love it. Yeah.
So, yeah. So the song that really I've had testimonies, I've received testimonies where people are saying this song, I almost lost, I almost divorced my wife, and because of this song, we are now together. I almost, found myself doing bad things, but this song has made me to be the person to be the right direction.
Yeah.
And I am recognized as Felix in Dangeni. So when you talk about Felix in Zambia, when you talk about Felix, they ask which Felix. If you say Felix in Dangeni, then they'll know there's only one Felix. Yeah, there's only one Felix in Dangeni. So that song, it's a song also that from deep down my heart. I was asking God to show me the way and direction because it came at a time when I had so much difficulties and that to choose the direction of my life. So I can do an a cappella.
Yes.
For my song.
one verse at least, just one verse.
Okay. Yitiloto chaisa ubushiku chiliaine monindala chilenjaba insila isangwa kundiwe fingi pintuna wanadine shila walendanga shena shakuru fyombo Jisu Leni amenso yanditata ayamu mupashimone nilianshamwe nyakare ine ndangeni sila mwelesa wandina lauwa eni maka Enya bata kuchimbisha enya baka mweleza wandina la pona.
Oh my God. I can sit there and listen to you forever. I love the way you sing. There's something that touches beyond. And so I say that this is the frequency and the vibration of the words because God has blessed you. And because they come from such a beautiful place in your heart and a beautiful place in your soul, that when you sing, it just it just reverberates and fills the space so beautifully.
I mean every single word that I put in my music. I mean every single step that I take in my music, because it comes from within me, and the experience of life really makes my songs. The experience of my life makes my songs. I don't do it for money. Money follows what I do. So I enjoy doing what I do, and this I feel this is what I was born to do. Even if today God elevated, I can abandon what I do, because this I enjoy what I do.
And I feel the love in your songs. So thank you so much for sharing that. And this brings me whole full circle to your love of the youth and the activism of the youth, because they are our next generations and your influence is huge. So talk to us about the meaningfulness of the inspiration you give with the youth, because it's huge.
Well, the organization is called Youth Movement for Positive Change Zambia. Now, this we want, what we do, we always encourage positivity, because this, a life with so much negative or negativity, there is so much discouragement, there's so much draining. You cannot actually believe you can achieve that which you are dreaming to do. So, as Youth Movement for Positive Change Zambia, our vision is to bring out the hidden potential in the young people and make them become responsible citizens. We believe that every one that is on top started from down. And we believe that everyone who's well knowledgeable and well informed at some point started learning. And so we instill education to have the youth to be well informed and to put themselves in the position where they can prepare themselves for tomorrow. It's not about only, we want to remove the dependence syndrome and the irresponsibility aspect of certain youths that would just want to misuse when they are empowered. It's one thing to be empowered and another thing to be responsible over that empowerment. So we encourage the young people, especially those that are coming from disadvantaged homes, vulnerable, homes, humble backgrounds. We encourage to start with whatever little they have. If it's business, start with a small. You don't need to have a lot of money for you to start a business.
Right.
You only need a small money that to make you start moving, to make a step. Once to make a step, you would have already started moving. You need to learn on how to grow these finances.
Right.
So we want to. This is what we do. So we encourage the young people to participate in national, issues. We participate. We encourage the youth also to be as creative as possible, to also share their ideas and ideologies, so that the people that are in these platforms or in these positions, they are able to partner with us to use our ideas to better our nation. And we believe that we carry better ideas. We are the youth. We have fresh ideas. We carry better ideas. And if we are engaged on the platform, on the national governance, we dialogue, we discuss, we bring out that which we can propose and suggest. We feel we can also contribute to the national development agenda of this country. And so we believe in it.
And you absolutely should, because, you know, our youth are our future. We always say that in that respect, but you know what? The power of our words comes through everyone. And just because we have an age category does not mean that what youth are saying right here and right now aren't powerful, isn't powerful.
Yes.
That we have to take
Yes.
the opportunity as adults and as citizens to listen to what everyone has to say, and not necessarily just because, oh, well, you're a child, you can't talk yet. That has been our biggest falter in this world, is not listening to each individual. Some children are old souls. Some children are, God works through them, and we need to hear those messages.
Well,
and it is one of our greatest mistakes that we don't sit, I call it sitting in circle, where the child has the equal right to speak just as much as the adult, so that we can hear all ideas and embrace all ideas and not just our ideas.
Yeah, that's it. And also the one of our agendas is to encourage youth to go back to school.
Yes.
To to make sure that they prepare their minds by getting back to school, by fighting hard to get education. And because once one gets education, you will actually, education will be able to remove you from a certain disadvantaged society to an advantaged society, where you can be able to be given a platform that you can contribute anything that God has given you. We are not saying education is the only aspect of development in life, but we are saying you can get education and you can use your education to advance and move your agendas in your society.
Absolutely, absolutely. I applaud your efforts. I applaud you, because as a person who's a fellow youth leader, as a person that speaks to the youth all the time, and given that I don't have a specific community, but I traverse communities talking to the youth in many countries, I can't begin to tell you how important you are in these children's lives. And I'm so grateful for the work that you bring and the leadership and the dynamics that you bring to these children. Thank you for what you do. You know, the music that you bring forward to inspire, to show love, to care, to share the embodiment that God has blessed us to be able and capable of doing, even though all of us don't necessarily do it. I thank you again, because I always feel like this: we can choose to be a beacon of light, or we can choose to dampen the beacons of light. And as a person who wants to stand to be that beacon, and just choose to allow God to work through me in the actions that I do and what I have to say and what needs to be done. And lifting people up and lifting children up is so important. And that's our purpose. You know, people are like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? That's your purpose.
Exactly.
To live a model life, to live a life in a positive way. It doesn't mean that bad things don't happen, but to make positive choices, to live a life of not wanting to get revenge, or not wanting to hurt people because I got hurt, you know, but to want to lift your fellow person up next to you is all we have to do to be a good person. And that's a conscious choice. That is a conscious choice. So I just want to say, I applaud you. I applaud what you represent.
I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful to God to have been connected to you, and to have given me a platform that I must behave. not only in my country, but also to the rest of the world, because this is very important. We are crying within ourselves. I cry within myself for someone who is, there's someone who's going through what I went through at that particular time. So sometimes I just take a deliberate drive to go into these communities and just try and see how I can encourage someone, a little something that I can have, because youth movement, it's a platform. We want to make everyone, at least everyone, every youth become responsible. They have to be doing something. We want to speak on behalf of other youths, those that do not have support to go to school. We want that we want to develop their skills and they don't have places. We want to build such kind of skills development, skill centers to develop our youths. And for me, that's my passion. That's my fulfillment. I can see someone, working on their skills, working on their talents, working on their potential, just to sharpen that so that they can be, that they can contribute to their society. For me, I'm fulfilled. For me, I am fulfilled. And I pray for such that everyone who extends a hand to a youth that is vulnerable, to a youth to go back to school, to a youth who was at one point abused, maybe was raped and was imprisoned, to go back to school. For me, that pray that God remembers that, God bless that, because they are not just thinking of themselves, they are thinking of other people. And the song that I did with Kepa Moto from Malawi, after I sat down, there's a song that I did which is talking about, in our local language, it's talking about encouraging the young people to get back to school. We're discouraging them not to be, taking drugs. We're encouraging them not to be found in the wrong places. We're encouraging our leaders to also take interest in the affairs that affect in the youth affairs. And it's a song that we combine Zambia and Malawi to bring the youth affairs of these two nations that probably our leaders can kick into, because we can only channel our grievances or our proposals sometimes through music. Yes, sometimes we write to the necessary organizations, but sometimes it's very difficult to run away from what we do best, especially music. So Imiti Kula Mpanga, the one that I did with Skepach Motor, the one that I'm currently playing on Favorite Night TV.
Yes.
Yes, so that song, it is because of the same. And so you have to ensure that these problems are not just in one place, they're everywhere. But we need partners to partner with us. We need people that are going to share our common vision, our common goals, that we may achieve these objectives, to just lift up the lives of the young people.
Absolutely. Everything that you're saying just, is so important, and it touches my heart. And I know that we're coming up on an hour soon. What is it that you want to leave with our audience as the thoughts of having met Felix Phiri?
Okay, I'll be dropping first the thing that maybe what I would want to leave our audience is that I've got my new project that is out, which I was recording live. We did the live recording and we did the live shots. It's amazing. Okay. And people must look for this new project. It's quite amazing. You must watch my full band in full operation. You must watch me singing with passion while I'm closing my eyes, and I'm in the spirit. I'm taken out. I'm in issues and I'm singing. It's quite beautiful. Yes. They should also look for my music on Feb Night TV. I believe my music is currently playing on Feb Night TV in the US, and projects concerning the youth. It's music, and we also have to. We don't have to leave the youth aspect. Let us come together. I think I'll be sharing next time. I'll be sharing in our production room the youth interaction program forum that we have, where we exchange views and ideologies as youths as for this organization. So I'm looking forward for that, Madam Enolia. I'm looking for that. So we can discuss about the youth movement for positive change Zambia. We also see, we explain to you, you will see part of the team. We also explain to you what we really need to add to what we already have, that we can achieve the objectives to achieve the youth's agendas that we have.
Thank you so much. And how you talk about Fave Unite TV, and what is the name that they should be looking for your project, just so to make sure that people can connect with you and get to you?
Live, I surrender all. Live with Felix Africa.
Okay.
I surrender all. Live in concert with Felix Africa.
Okay, I'm going to be there. I will be right there.
That's absolutely good. That's good. Invite others also to be there and watch. Yeah, it's an amazing project.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Felix.
I don't want to forget. Please, I'll be unfair.
Oh, well, absolutely. You have it. It's okay.
Yes. I want to appreciate the Vision Afrique organization. The Vision Afrique organization to have engaged to work on behalf of the Zambian musicians here in Zambia. That I'm a country's project coordinator here in Zambia, to gather the content that we're submitting as artists through Vision Afrique to Feb Night TV. So it's a rare opportunity. I want to appreciate the leadership, Dr. Poplande, Madam Bukeka in the US, including you, Madam Enolia. You guys are wonderful. I pray that God Himself continue to increase you in your personal initiatives that you've used just to enhance people's talents and to also increase their finances and make them realize the value on the art they spend time on. Because the musical content you are putting on Feb Night TV, later on, artists will begin to get the leverages that is, in terms of loyalties. So it's a plus.
Yeah.
And so I want to encourage each and every one that is watching, especially an African artist, to look for Vision Afrique. You can actually get on the website. Okay. I believe the website is already
the Vision Afrique Development. I'll actually put it at the bottom of the description here. So visionafriquedevelopment.org.
So you can see that website and then get a link from there. You go and look for where you can submit your content, and surely you get through to Feb Night TV, and your music will be internationally recognized, and you join the world. Yeah, you come out of your comfort zone and join the world that can celebrate your art more and more. Thank you so much, Madam Enolia.
I'm so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this has been another episode of The Infinite Way, where spirituality meets humanity. Thank you, Felix. And thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.